Now, just to give you a quick update on where I'm at the moment, I've made something like a top hat. What I'm going to use this for is just the exhaust. It gives me something to connect the flue into on the back of the stove. If I just cut a hole in the drum, you know, it won't be very strong. It'll burn out very quickly at that point because all the flames will be, you know, licking it there. So look, I've got a lump of 6-inch flue pipe. This is an offcut of some of the stainless steel stuff I have, and this is what I want to connect into. So I haven't welded this yet. I've just cut a circle, and you know, I rolled a piece of steel then to make a bit of pipe. So I'll show you that now in a second. So here's you know, some 6-inch flue, and it's a nice tight fit. It won't fall out. Just give you a quick look at it. I haven't welded it yet, and I haven't straightened it out, but you can see the seam around that. Yeah. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a weld around that, and I'm going to curve it. So I'm going to put a stitch of weld here on the top, another one on the bottom, just maybe 1 inch long, and then we're going to curve this so it's the same, you know, radius as the barrel. What that means then is I can cut a hole in it, put this on the inside, put some fiberglass rope on the inside, put some screws through it, boom, and that's it. I have an airtight seal then. I've already made the door piece. This is very heavy, sturdy. It'll go from barrel to barrel, but it does actually open, and you know, I'll show you that as I get closer. But the next thing for me now is to get this done and then get a hole cut in the barrel and get it mounted. Once I've that done, then the rest just bolts together very quickly. I have to make a bit of a grate for it, you know, so that when I'm burning solid fuel, I'm not burning on the actual the bottom of the drum, because it would very quickly burn through that as well. So yeah, it's going really well. Should fire this up tomorrow at some stage, have maybe another half an hour welding and that sort of crack on this thing. But this kit, I know you can buy kits, stainless steel kits. Unfortunately, they're not available or readily available here in Ireland. So I've decided I'd make my own. I like making stuff anyway. But this means then that I can take this from barrel to barrel, and you know, I can burn solid fuel in this, or if I want to convert it, I can burn some waste oil too. But that's where we're at the moment. Okay, so I'm just going to put 1 inch of a weld on the bottom, on the top, and then bang it, you know, so that it's curved. See if I can match the curvature of the drum, which I will. Now I've got it welded top and bottom, so now what I want to do is match the curvature of this thing. So I'm just going to bend it, literally. I'm just going to put it on the floor and tap it, and then work it that way as best I can. That's looking pretty good. So that's all I've done. Maybe you can see that. Bring up a bit closer. So that's it. I've just curved it. And I'm going to drill it, put a couple of bolts in it. That'll pull it together. And then when I have it right, then I'll finish the weld. You know, so I've just welded it there. And when I get it right, I'll just, you know, weld the rest of it. Easy enough. Okay, so that's the setup. It's really hot now at the moment. The seam I'm going to put on the bottom. The rest of it is welded up. All of this is going to live on the inside. I'm going to put some fiberglass rope around that now, and when I drill through it, it'll squash the fiberglass rope between that and the barrel, and I'll end up with a perfect seal. So that's the plan. Now the white piece there you can see on the other camera is the fiberglass rope, and I've just put a staple in it just to hold it together. Once it's squashed against the unit, the drum, it can't go anywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to put the flue connection on the back of this now, so it's easy enough. I'm literally just going to push it through. So just reaching through. And that's it. And if you're close enough, you can see the fiberglass rope just there. Now I'm putting this on with some hex screws. They look like that. And I've got a little impact driver for putting them in. So literally for the first one, I'm just going to reach in through the exhaust, grab it, and screw this thing on. We'll put 4 in it, should be enough. north, south, east and west on this one. So we'll go in here. And that's it. I've put 4 screws in this now, so it's really tight. I could swing out of that if I wanted to. Now, just to make sure that it's still held its round pattern, I'm just going to find my lump of flue, which is here. And that's it. You can see it there. It's a perfect fit for the flue. Brilliant. Okay, so that's the exhaust sorted out on this thing. Let's put the front on it now. So it's a little windy here at the moment, and I closed the door just to keep some of that out. Right, I'm going to offer this up. I'll just show you the setup on this so you can see the back of it. It's welded as much as I want on the back. It'll hold it together, no problem. And also it can be airtight. On the front, there's still a little bit more to do, but I can do that on the unit. Quite heavy and durable, which was the plan. You know, I expect this to last many a barrel. Okay, let's throw that in. All right, that's it on. And I'm just going to put some nuts and bolts to get it started. These bolts are a bit long, and I want that so that I can leave them slack, go around it with the fiberglass rope, and then tighten them in, squashing the rope between my plate, you know, my monstrosity here, and the drum. So let's get a bolt in, because this is, although it's a tight fit, it could easily fall out. Right, let's start one of the corners first. See if I'm lined up. Okay. Now, to save time, I've pre-drilled this. So I'm just literally going to hold this bolt and tighten it off the inside. You know what? Right, that's one of the bolts in. Can't fall out now. Now I have all the screws in, and I'm just going to pull it away from the surface of the barrel, and I'm going to drop in my fiberglass rope, and then I'm going to tighten them, which will squash the rope in, and that's it, gives me seal then. Now I have a little bit of a gap there. That's on purpose. I don't have the bolts tightened, so I'm actually going to put a bar behind it and drive it out more, make a bigger gap. I'm going to wrap it with the fiberglass rope, and then we're going to tighten it all together. Boom. And that's it. It can never fall out. Now, even with the door open on this thing, you know, when I'm going to make a grate for it, but even with the door open, with no glass in it, if I light a fire, there's no smoke comes out into the shed. It'll go straight up the chimney. And I'll prove that. I'll show you that when I light it, which will be tomorrow, I'd say. Looking at the way it's going really well at the minute. This stuff is about 20 mil, 3/4 of an inch, something like that thick. So what I'll do is I'll lay it like that, and I'll put the joint on the side or down near the bottom. And you can see now, look, I'm just pushing it in on top of the bolts. I'll move this bar now in a second, but we'll get round it now. That's it. I have a nice tight fit, so I just have to go around, spring it, drop this in, and that's it. And all I'm looking to do is when I tighten these bolts is that it pulls the front in on the barrel, and that the fiberglass rope gets squashed in that space, and that gives us our airtight seal. Now there's ridges on this barrel. They do that for strength. And I needed the fiberglass rope that when it's squashed, that it's expanded out, that there are no, you know, gaps. I don't see any air, and there's no way fumes can get out the side of it. It's going really well. It's going as expected. That's most of it done now. Now I'm just going to turn around this roof to make the bottom a bit easier to do. So this is the end of the rope here, and literally I'm just going to cut it like that. That's it. And I'm going to tuck the bit that's sticking out, I'm going to tuck that back in. And I still have a bit for flues or the next project. So that's it. It's on, it's going to be airtight. And it'll work. I need to still fabricate a grate for it, so that'll be good, or great. And then I need an air intake and some way of getting rid of the ashes. So still a little bit to do, but we're very close to the stage where I could bang a flue into that and just throw something in and light it to get rid of all the paint on it. But yeah. I wasn't going to use a cast iron door, I was just going to make a door for it. But as I had one with glass in it already, I thought, okay, look, we'll utilise that, it'll last forever. So there you go. More on that tomorrow.